Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I am sharing all of the videos. I'm sharing all of the books that I DNF'd. DNF stands for did not finish. So I didn't read a whole bunch this year. If you want a recap of the books that I did enjoy and I did read, check out this video. But this one that I'm recording right now is going to be about the books that I did not finish and why I didn't finish them. Some of them I'm going to come back to though, so they're not all like atrocious and awful. Some of them I just didn't feel like reading. So jumping right into it. On the 12th night of Christmas, I think I like picked this up at Goodwill or something like that. And this is actually a murder mystery, I believe. So that's why I got it, because I was gonna try to read it because everybody was doing the whole like holiday reads thing. I don't like holiday books, but I was like, since this one is like more of a mystery thriller kind of thing, it's not like your typical holiday romance, maybe I'll try it, and I just didn't. I'm a mood reader and I couldn't force myself to read it just because it's like Christmassy kind of thing. I couldn't do it. So maybe one day I'll read it. I only paid $2 for it, so yeah. We'll see. Maybe one day I'll read it. One day. The next book is, what is it? This one's called Extras, but there's a, actually, do I have it? I do. Pretties. Yes. So these two books I read, they're part of a series called Uglies. It's a young adult series basically about like the society that has been able to manufacture perfection, so physically and then even like mentally, like the way that they talk and stuff like that. And it's one of my best friend's favorite series, so she recommended it to me, and I did absolutely enjoy reading Uglies. Not the Uglies, I enjoyed reading the first book, which is called The Uglies, right? But how do I explain it without ruining the series, if anybody wants to read it? But by the time I got to the second book, some of the like vocabulary that the character kept using and like the character's personality, I couldn't vibe with it anymore. I could not do it anymore. And then also, this is a young adult, and it's been a while since I found a young adult book that I've been interested in. So maybe that was part of the issue too, is that I'm just not very much into young adult anymore. So, but for the life of me, I could not get through the constant, the pretty talk is what they call it. I could not get through the vocabulary for it. Like, I couldn't do it. What I did do, however, was I went online and I read through the rest of the storyline, and it sounds like it was pretty cool. I wasn't invested in it. So maybe I'll come back around. I don't think I'll ever end up reading Pretties, but I do kind of, this is like a spin-off of the series, so I might actually come back to this because like I said, the actual storyline sounded really good. I just couldn't do the actual writing of it in itself. So this one is The Inheritance of Orga Davina. I think that's how you say it. I DNF'd this book, not because I didn't like it, but I just wasn't in the mood to read it. And it's more of a like, I don't know if it's a lighthearted read, but that's kind of the vibe that I got from it. So this book is basically about the Montoyas used to live a life without explanations, but basically like the matriarch of the family, she dies and they're like called back, and some mysterious magic kind of stuff kind of happens. So I got this from Book of the Month, and I really like Book of the Month. So it's not like I spent like $16 or something like that on a hard book just to not read it. But I just did not feel like, I don't know, maybe I wasn't in the mood to read it. I don't know. There wasn't anything like about it that I didn't like. I just didn't feel like reading it. So maybe I'll put it on my TBR eventually. It's not on my January TBR, but I'll get around to reading it eventually. And then, okay, sorry about that. I got my Amazon delivery, so video got interrupted, but I'm back. Like I was saying, so the last physical copy of the books that I DNF'd, Six of Crows. So this is actually pretty popular book. I think it's on Netflix. Yeah. So It's on, or is this, wait, no, Shadow and Bone. Okay, so I guess this is like the same author or something like that. I picked it up because it was like all the rave on Book Talk, and it sounded interesting, but the more that I saw it on Book Talk, the more like I felt like I already knew what was going on. You know, just because like the fan base and stuff like that. Not that they were, nobody was like spoiling it on purpose, but after you see it, you kind of get the gist of it. So I do still want to read it. It's just not like high on my priority list because it's kind of, I almost feel like I read it already in a way, if that makes sense. So I do want to read it just so I can experience it myself. But as far as like putting it high on my priority list, it's not up there. And I tried to start reading it, but like I said, I felt like I already kind of knew what it was about, and I wanted to spend my time reading other books. So I DNF'd this one. So out of those ones, these two aren't permanently do not finished, but the other ones pretty much are. And then some I read on my e-reader. Well, I actually read them on my phone, but on like whatever the Amazon e-reader thing is called, I forget. But don't judge me. So Planet Barbarians is one that I tried to read, which was also very popular on Book Talk, and I did get through some of it, but again, it was one of those books where I kind of already knew what was happening because it was all over Book Talk, but also it's just not something that I wanted to read. It was fun, like the jokes and the videos and stuff like that. It was fun, but it's just like if I had to, my time was limited, especially, you know, with a job and a kid and stuff like that. And it was like, with the limited time, I will choose to read something else. So that's one that I decided not to read. Winter Storm. So a long time ago, I read the first book in that series. And then it's like a 11 book long series. So basically it's about this detective. A long time ago, her family was murdered. And then she, you know, it's the typical trope where she becomes like a detective because she wants to eventually like find out who murdered her family and stuff like that. So a long time ago, not a long time ago, geez, what was it, 2020? That feels like such a long time ago, but it wasn't a long time ago. Thank you. But basically, what was I saying? Yeah, her family got murdered. She became a detective. I read the book in 2020, and I kind of sort of like, if I had to rate it, I gave like that first book a 3 stars. And I tried to read the second one just because I felt like I should finish the series, and I couldn't do it. There's like a lot of head hopping between the characters, which was disorienting. And then I couldn't quite figure out if like the magical elements was just supposed to be like metaphorical or if it was like actually magical. It's like, it was very confusing. And then like I wasn't invested in trying to figure it out. So yeah, didn't even make it to book 2. So, and then there's a couple of romance books on my e-reader that I can't even remember the title of them, where like I downloaded them because they were either free or like 99 cents or something like that, and I just didn't even bother. So those are all of my DNFs for this year. And yeah, let me know in the comments if there are books that you decided that you just didn't want to read, or books that you just don't want to read yet. Like maybe you started it and then you're like, you know what, this is going to be something for later. And let me know in the comments. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to like this one. And yeah, thanks for watching.